Welcome into NBC4 Sports Extra. I'm your host, David DeGuzman. We are in post-game coverage after Ohio State defeats Washington by a final score. Pretty impressive score, all things considered, 24-6. Impressive by the defense. We're joined by, of course, the one and only coach, Bill Conley. And we're going to get some reaction as we also await post-game comments from Ryan Day. Here's a look at the podium as we await those comments. Waiting for Ryan Day and for possibly some other players as well. Oh, and it looks like, actually, Coach, we're going to hold on to you there for a second. We're going to go to the podium right now. We have Julian Seyan at the podium. Let's listen in.
Yeah, that was the mindset going into it. Coach Day has been preaching that to us all week. He's having poise in the noise out there, and I think we did a good job of just having poise in the loud environment. And our mindset was just keep swinging. Things aren't going to go our way the whole time. And there's going to be momentum shifts, so we just got to keep swinging.
Joey Kaufman.
Julian, on your first touchdown pass to Jeremiah, where he's running over the middle, is that free rusher coming? What's going through your mind on that play? Can you kind of walk us through what you're seeing there?
Yeah, we kind of knew what look we were going to get there, and they ended up bringing it, so we had to I had to drift and kind of get out of there. And Jeremiah did a nice job of finding the window, and the receivers made some great blocks, and O-line did a great job up front as well.
Deep Dan Hope, 11 Warriors.
You saw you use your legs a little bit more today to run for a couple key plays. Were you eager to show that part of your game more?
I think it was just what kind of the game called for a couple times. They were either dropping out 8 guys and there were only 3 guys rushing, or they were playing man coverage and nobody had the quarterback. So I think it was just a couple times where it was kind of what the game called for, and had to go make a play with my legs.
To the right, Cameron Teague Robinson.
Julian, how much does a drive like you got there in the second quarter, you completed 5 of your 6 passes, how much did that build confidence for what you did in that second?
Yeah, I think it builds a lot of confidence, just, having consistency like that, and then having the receivers catching and running and making guys miss. I think it just builds consistency for the offense and then builds a lot of confidence for the offense.
Over to the right, Dylan Davis.
Ryan talks about winning the 8 minutes, those middle 8 minutes all the time. You guys score right before halftime, you come out and score again. I guess what was the message in the locker room at halftime, and just coming out and doing that? How good does that feel as confirmation of, what that means to you guys?
Yeah, we were excited to score right at the end of the half, and then we knew we would get the ball coming out, and I think we had a 15-play drive to go down there and punch it in. So offensive line did a great job. It's a long drive for them, so I think they did a great job on that drive.
Stefan Kreisnik, over to the right.
After that Texas game, Coach Day talked about feeling like they could have put more on your plate, trusted you with more. I guess how excited were you about the opportunity to face a Big Ten team, get some more on your plate, and prove what you can do?
Yeah, I think the atmosphere was awesome and the environment was awesome, and we were playing a great team. So it was just it was all around excitement, going out here, the West Coast, go to Seattle, and go play a great team like that.
Over to the left, Spencer Holbrook.
Julian, what's it like to be watching this defense right now? It seems like you're just kind of dominant.
It's awesome to watch, and they're so good in practice that it shows up on Saturdays. So it's awesome to see Caleb, Sonny, all those guys making plays, and it gives us a lot of confidence as an offense that they're going to go and get stops for us.
Right next door, Austin Ward.
Julian, you referenced the environment and the noise and all that, and the poise and the noise. What was the biggest challenge about dealing with that today?
Yeah, I think when you're not on your cadence and you have to go on the silent count, it's definitely tough. And then just them making it tough with our communication. But we practiced it all week, and I think we did a good job of it.
Deep, the gentleman that I don't know whose name is, but he's raising his hand.
Over here. Did you have a moment at all to be? You mentioned the atmosphere and everything. To just kind of take in the atmosphere a little bit and enjoy, being in that game.
Yeah, I think sometimes in the TV timeouts you can kind of feel the energy in the stadium, and it was definitely an awesome atmosphere and very cool.
Right next door, Deep, Joe Nugent.
Julian, they won 22 straight here. That streak is now over. Was that a little motivation for you guys coming into this?
Yeah, they're definitely a really good opponent, and we were excited about the challenge of playing them. And I think our guys, kind of like I said before, we were just going to keep swinging and go off the no momentum and kind of just keep playing.
Pat Murphy.
Julian, the running backs, you guys I think rotated 3 different guys. Just when you have different guys with you, how does that kind of get going? How do you feel like they handle those situations?
Yeah, I think they all do a great job, and it's nice when you have 3 guys like that who can rotate because you have fresh legs in there, and the defense gets tired, and those guys are fresh and they're able to run through contact.
Jeff Gilbert.
It was more of a methodical day for the offense, not big things over the top. How comfortable is that for you to just
play that way and keep it just to that versus trying to hit it big?
Yeah, we had to take what they were what they were giving us, and there wasn't many opportunities for big shots, and we just had to keep playing, and it was going to be longer drives, and I think we did a good job of executing.
And the last question, Tim May.
Yeah, Julian, number 4, Jeremiah Smith, it was like a freight train coming across the middle on that drag route and stuff. And did you sense that too? Did you sense some momentum turn in this game with that play? You stood there in the blitz and hit him on that. But what's it like having a guy like that on your team?
Yeah, definitely.
You've gotten that a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Down 3-0, that was a huge play for the offense, and I think it was third and 12 maybe. So we really needed that, and I think the whole offense executed that very well. We hadn't practiced it too much. We only got it a couple times, and I think we executed it at a high level on that one.
And was it frustrating? It looked like they were just bound and determined. Y'all were going to have to go the hard way today. Did it feel like that at quarterback, meaning they weren't giving you the stuff over the top, so to speak?
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a gritty game. It wasn't going to be perfect, and I think kind of like I said before, Coach Day and our whole offense's message was just keep swinging. Things aren't going to go our way, and we just got to keep playing.
Great. Julian, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll be back in with Coach here shortly.
That was Julian Seyan at the podium after Ohio State's 24-6 win over Washington. Want to bring in Coach Conley for some quick analysis. Julian said it wasn't going to be a perfect game, but he got enough done. What do you think about how Julian was able to do 2 touchdowns, 208 yards, 22 for 28?
Well, the thing, David, that really stands out to me is how this guy, young quarterback, first time as a starter, did a great job against Texas, and he did the same today in one of the most hostile environments of all of college football.
As we continue to wait, we're going to wait for Ryan Day. The defense really stuck out to me, Coach. To hold Washington to 2 field goals, no touchdowns, and there's so many guys on that defensive squad that you can really name. But what stuck out to you the most? A complete team effort there.
Well, a complete team effort. And how about the play of our defensive front, especially Caden Curry? We got, 6 sacks for the day. And I'll tell you what, they were just harassing the quarterback in every passing situation. Hats off to the front.
Yeah, 6 sacks, costing the opponent 46 yards. It almost was a bit of a tale of two halves. A lot of tension at Huskies Stadium until Jeremiah Smith was able to make that catch from Julian Seyan. And things really changed from there, didn't it, Coach?
Yeah, and especially the pass that Seyan made on that play, because he held that football to the last second till Smith cleared and then released it. And he was ready to take a hit once he did release it. So his poise under pressure is really amazing for a young guy.
Again, bringing up the final score as you're joining us here for post-game coverage. 24-6, the final. Number 1, Ohio State, staying undefeated this season and handing Washington its first loss in 23 games at home. That is also quite unbelievable to even think about. And I also want to bring in Julian Seyan's stats as we take a look at it now. 22 for 28 passing, 208 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Coach Conley, as we kind of come back here, we're still waiting for Ryan Day to get to the podium. Let's kind of talk big picture here as we wait for Coach Day to get to the podium. This is a big win in terms of the first Big Ten game and kind of a confidence booster for a guy like Julian Seyan making his first road start.
Oh, exactly right. And the way that our offense really picked up steam on that, after that first touchdown in the second quarter, we pretty much owned the day offensively the rest of the day.
Again, waiting for Coach Day. What struck to you about what Julian was able to say? We get bits and pieces and glimpses. Actually, hold on one second. Looks like we're about to get Coach Day at the podium. Let's get to Coach Day right now.
All right, guys, we'll start over here on the left with Austin Ward and then Spencer.
Ryan, who's your favorite Caden?
Yeah, they both played well. I thought, the plan going in was that, Larry Johnson talked about, 4 guys playing as one when you're going against a quarterback like this. It's easy to find yourself, going off on your own and trying to make plays, and then, it's easy for there to be layers that get, just disoriented, and before you know it, he can split out or squirt out. So all those guys working together worked because. If you understand that the coverage and the rush are working together, now they're starting to see how this works. The second part of it, they're able to stick with it, cage it in there, and then get the sack. So did a great job stopping the run, had a good plan, but it was about the execution of it. So both those guys played great.
Ryan, you guys have won 3 different games now in 3 different ways, but the constant has been just defensive excellence. What are you attributing that to right now, and where do you see this defense going now that you've seen it be so good through 4 weeks?
Just growing. We got to grow. I think it's great. It's a great reference point to come into a stadium like this. It's a great environment. I thought that the fans on their end were loud and showed up in a big way. It was great for our guys to see some red here. I think anytime you take a young team on a road, it's great to have familiar faces in the crowd, and they had a presence, and that was great. But I think the guys believe in the system. I think you have some guys in there like Sonny and Caleb and now Caden, IGB, that have played a lot of football, and they're kind of the guys that are leading the way, and then quickly these guys are following because they believe in them because they've seen it. And then I think you mix that in with the chemistry of the defensive staff and the game planning and the execution of it all. I think you're seeing that. Now, we're not where we need to be in terms of down the road. I think we still got a lot of work to do in all areas. So we have to continue to work to get better. But you're seeing, obviously, the potential of where we are. But each week we're going to have to continue to get better because in this conference, that's our first conference win. Got a lot of work to do. But it does give us something to refer back to of you just went into an environment where they've won 22 straight games, and this team won. And, if we can do some things a little bit better, we're going to come out of this film session thinking that, we could have even played a little better in certain areas. But that's it. This time of year, you got to continue to figure out what the issues are and continue to get better. But I think the confidence is there, and it should be.
So to Joey and then Rob Oliver.
Right, specifically with this defense, the way it's playing on 3rd down has been really strong. Tonight, Washington came in this country leading the nation in 3rd down conversions. What are you specifically doing in some of those spots to kind of get the stop on 3rd down, hold to a field goal? That seems really strong.
Yeah, well, it starts with 1st and 2nd down, trying to get them into 3rd and long. But it's playing situational football. And the way that we're playing now, and most teams are playing, they huddle, we huddle, you're not going to get as many plays. You're talking about 53 and 62. So it's not a lot of football. So that means the percentage of plays is going to be a lot situational. And so we've got to be great in the situations. And it's something we worked hard in the preseason. Certainly Matt and the defensive staff understand that part of it and work hard at it. We do as a team. But that really what it comes down to in understanding, your opponent. Now, it's always about us, but you got to understand how they're trying to attack us. And a big part of it was stopping the run on 1st and 2nd down and forcing them into 3rd and either 3rd medium, 3rd long situations.
Over to Rob Oliver.
Yeah, Ryan, I think it's fair to say you're offensive-minded. What does a defense like this allow you to do offensive? Not take risks, just not make mistakes. Is that sort of the idea, or how do you work that into the game plan?
Well, I think it's important that we continue to grow on offense and figure out where the identity of this team is and where it's going. I think, it's something that we'll work on week to week. But when you have a defense that is playing the way it is right now, you can play with confidence knowing that, you don't have to score every single possession. You can control the clock and, play it. I wouldn't say more conservative, but, you understand time, score, and situation. Quite honestly, in that last drive, or second to last drive, when we took the penalty, which we can't be doing this, we can't be having these self-inflicted wounds. It's going to cost us a game. So, and that happened too many times in this game. So, we had 5 penalties, and so we can't do that. But when we found ourselves in that situation, it was you want to push the ball down the field and possibly create a turnover or run it twice and kick the field goal and make it 14-point game. We ran it there and on 3rd and 17 and got 16 yards on it, and then once it was 4th and 1 we decided to go for it. So it allows you to sort of play the game knowing that you have a good defense and you don't have to score every time. Now the goal is to score every time, and we got to continue to figure out ways to be more explosive, and we will. That's something that we're going to work hard on this week.
Real quick, you have a new defensive coordinator. He lost a lot of all surprised that this is all becoming an historically elite defensive asset so quickly?
Well, we're only 4 games in, so we got a lot of work to do here.
4 games, it's historically good.
Hey, well, I'd rather it this way than any other way, right? So, listen, it doesn't surprise me with the coaches that we have. It doesn't surprise me with the players that we have. But that being said, like we got a long season ahead of us, and I think there's confidence right now, and that's the most important thing I think for young players. And now, I think we can start to say they're not inexperienced anymore. Maybe they don't have as many games as some of the guys who were here last year, but now you're starting to see them do that. And you take some of these guys who started for the first time on defense. People talk about Julian, but the first a start for a lot of these guys was Texas at home, and now a first road game was against a team that won 22 straight at home. So these are all things that I think are building up our confidence, which is critical. So to say I'm surprised, no, I'm not surprised, but it's exciting. It's exciting to see the capability and the potential. And I think if we can all stick together as a team, we'll have the chance here. But long way to go, a lot of work to do.
We'll do 2 more, Cameron Teague, and then Joe Nugent all the way in the back. Cameron?
Brian, you mentioned Julian, obviously his first road start in a place like this. How important was that drive to end the first half and then to carry that over? How important was that for him, and how can he continue building that going?
Man, the middle 8, that's it. So many games are won and lost in the middle 8. So for us to score there and then come back before you turn it, it's 14-7. And we're going to look back on this first quarter and just get sick because. But that's football too, and that's on the road. And I got to tell you, when you wake up in the morning and you go, okay, here we go. Who knows what's going to happen in this type of a game? Now we got to get on the film. We got to learn from it. We got to get better at it because if we need to, or if we're going to go, where we want to go in terms of this team. We got to be better in those areas. But it would have been very easy to get discouraged, and we didn't. Hung in there, kept swinging, kept battling, and so we showed resilience, and that's a positive.
All the way in the back, Joe.
On the Washington fake field goal attempt, did that feel like a momentum shift on the bench? Did it feel different, significant?
I thought that was a big swing in the game for sure. Yep. They were being aggressive, but it was our guys were prepared for it, and that was a big stop. Big stop. Because when you get down in the red zone, we got to force field goals. But then when you get a stop like that, when you get a stop, it's a 4-point play. When you get a stop, now it's a 7-point swing. That's the way we look at it. So that was a big point in the game for sure.
All right, Coach, thank you.
All right, guys, thanks.
Coach Ryan Day at the podium after Ohio State's 24-6 victory over Washington. Let's take a look at some of the team notes from this game. Again, ending the 22-game home win streak, 8th straight win, 6 sacks for the defense, and Bo Jackson, 17 carries, 80 yards. We have some more player reaction. Let's go back to the podium and hear from the Buckeyes.
Guys on the defensive line, especially.
First and foremost, just seeing Ohio State fans out there. You saw Sea Red, and when it was supposed to be a crazy atmosphere, and just seeing all of them was a great atmosphere to see. And I feel like we just took accountability of our actions today, and we just make the plays when our numbers called.
And you tied Ohio State's record today at 5 tackles for loss. Just what does that mean to you?
I honestly didn't know that, but honestly, it's truly a blessing, and I just got to thank the man upstairs for that.
What was the defensive strategy to keep Mon Williams hemmed in so he couldn't scramble and he did a lot of passes, but
yeah,
a lot of damage? What kind of strategy?
Honestly, just the way we practiced all week. We knew we were playing a great athlete and a great playmaker, so we knew we had to contain the quarterback, and we knew we had to do our job. And honestly, plays just come off of that. When you cage the pocket that well, he's going to come to you eventually.
When you got a mobile quarterback like that, does that motivate you more as a defense at all? Because you guys got 6 sacks. It's not easy to do against somebody who can.
Yeah, definitely. You love to see the pressure put on you as a defensive line. I feel like our defensive line this year is just a bunch of no names, and we just go out there and we just try to ball and we try to play as hard as we can.
What about the chemistry that's developed between these guys?
We've been here together for 2 to 3 years now. We've definitely seen guys before us. We see the great defensive line last year, all of our guys in the NFL now, and we just learned every day off of them, and just being able to play with them and be able to learn and teach from them, and just definitely paid off.
What do you think you guys are doing on third downs, even though you may be back in your own deep in your own territory and heels against? What do you think you're doing well in those spots?
Just continuing to play. A lot of defenses can break down. You can start to give up a little bit, and then that kind of that voice in the back of your head saying, all right, they already got this drive, they're already done. I mean, we definitely just play up to the standard, and we never give up.
Are you guys enjoying being essentially the unit that's winning Ohio State football games right now?
I mean, we love to do our job, and we love to do it at the high level, and we love to make plays when our numbers are called. And I mean, if it happens to be in the back of the goal line or in the middle of the field, or if the game's on the line, we love all the energy behind it.
You were a lot of people's upset special today. Were y'all reminding each other of that? Did that motivate you?
I mean,
this game?
Our defensive line, we're always motivated. Our whole defense is motivated. I mean, we feel like we always have a chip on our shoulder, and we feel like we always, because, I mean, we lost so many players last year. We have so much to gain now, and we have so many players just have an edge, and we have so much such a good defense that just wants to play and just keep playing.
Can you just use the term, name some defensive line? It seems like you guys are starting to lose that. Has that been like motivation for you guys so far this year? And what do you think that's going to be like when you are not no names?
I mean, I feel like we're always going to have that mindset, and we're never going to let it get to our head, and we're always going to play like we are those guys that just kind of play as one unit.
Last question right here, then we got Kid McDonald.
We'll sit you down right there. It's going to sound kind of weird. I wanted to ask you, like your eye black coming off the field was all over your face. Do you do it that way, or was that just a natural result of the way you
No, normally I have one cross on one side, and I do a ring on the other side, just significant what I want to do at the end of the year.
I mean, look in the mirror after the game and see, you kind of wore the effort you gave today?
I mean, that's the least of my worries, honestly. So, I mean, if it happens, it happens.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
I think we're about to get some more player reaction, but Coach, just want to let you chime in for a bit. Washington 1 for 11 on third downs. This team was doing so well on third downs before that. I mean, what do you think was the key there?
Well, I'll tell you what, the 75% before today, the first 3 games,
Insane.
they were one of the best in the country. Just a great overall effort by the defense.
All right, let's go back. More player reaction from the Buckeyes.
Well, I'll say Coach Johnson, he this whole week he was preaching of rushing as one. You got Caden Curry, KJ, Edric, all those guys, man, we just played together and, Big Ten play. Quarterback's really good, but, we all rushed together and we made a play.
It seemed like you and Caden Curry were just feeding off each other all day. How does he help make you better and vice versa?
Caden Curry, man, he's a hard worker. It's just how you practice is how you play, and we work really hard. We always push each other to go as hard as we can, and you see, shows.
To make that final play that mattered right up the gut, you pulled Damon Williams down and stuff. What's going through your mind there? You seemed extremely happy.
Well, just it was 4th down. I was like, just bring out my best move, and I got past the center, and the rest was history.
Are those plays where you feel the weight loss this offseason? You talked about becoming slim back now. Are those plays where you feel that?
For sure. I feel like I can go longer and just really help my team win, because that's at the end of the day, we want just with the win on the board.
Caden, when you guys first started this season, it seemed like the stars of this defensive unit, IGB, Sonny, Caleb, you guys kind of come in. Caden Curry called you guys the no-names on the defensive line. To see what you guys are doing now and the impact that you're having through 4 games, what does that mean to you guys?
It's first and foremost, got to thank God, we're at Ohio State, the number 1 team in the country, and just being ready for the moment, the opportunity to go make a play, and it shows,
Okay, it looks like you guys, you had to wait your turn, everyone on the defensive line had to. It looks like you're trying to make up for lost time. You just look so motivated. Is there truth to that?
For sure, motivated. Just really, I love football. I love doing this, and just happy we got the win.
All right, we'll bring in Kenyatta. Caden, thank you.
Thanks, Caden.
Appreciate it. Fire away.
Kenyatta, you've been here with Caden Curry for 3 years. To see him have the kind of game that he did today, how exciting is that for you?
It's very exciting. I've been seeing this since freshman year, so it's not surprising, but I'm very excited for him.
KJ, you made the play where I think you wrapped up Damon around one of the offensive linemen and the rest of the guys corralled. Is that just kind of one example of the way that you guys are working together right now? It seems like you guys are all really on the same page on the defensive line.
Yeah, that's what Coach J been preaching to us, all year. Just play as one. Don't be selfish, and you've seen it today. So.
Yeah. Everybody on the defensive line had at least one play of significance, and several of you guys had several. What does it just say about this group y'all put together here now? Basically replacing 4 starters from last year. A lot of people thought that was the question mark of this defense. Do you think you've answered that?
I mean, just keeping the standard, the Rushman standard. You know, like you said, we lost 4, you know, good guys, but, you know, Caden Curry and I and, you know, the older guys, we, you know, live up to that standard. And the younger guys and the people and the other, you know, players, they just follow after that standard. So
Playing as one, is that doesn't to give up some of yourself a little bit at times? Explain how that works.
I mean, like I said, we're not playing selfish football. You know, like you said, we got to give up some plays. You know, we got to, you know, do things that we don't like sometimes. But, hey, as long as the team win, we're good.
Is it possible for a defensive line to be in the zone?
Pardon?
Is it possible for a defensive line to be in the zone? Is that?
Oh, of course. Yeah. It felt like that. It felt like that.
What's it like when that is happening for you or everybody?
Just havoc. Just havoc. Nobody can block us. Just, you know, go get a dude with the ball. Do your job and go get a dude with the ball.
What's the feeling
Last question.
They've won 22 straight. Your 22 teams try to come in and win. They've been unsuccessful. You guys were successful.
Yeah, that was a pretty good team out there. You know, the environment was, you know, real good. It was real loud. But, you know, we're the Ohio State Buckeyes at the end of the day. You know, we play our football. It's all about us, and we don't really care about who our opponent is. It's just about us.
Kenyatta, thank you.
Yes, sir.
And this will be our last player.
When that play call came in, fourth and half a yard, and it's a pass. What was going through your mind?
Get that 1 yard. Yeah, just catch the ball, knife, get vertical, and get that 1 yard for the team.
What was the feeling like of running into the end zone on that play, essentially sealing the game?
To be honest, it was, you know, electrifying, you know, just having an opportunity, you know, to seal the game, you know, us to, you know, sing the song, you know, that was special.
Do you remember when you guys installed that play and maybe what you thought about it in that moment?
We rep plays, you know, all through camp and, you know, the spring, you know, so, you know, we finally got the opportunity to run it. So, yeah, I was definitely cheesing. I was like, man, hurry up, call the play. But, you know, I had the opportunity and I made the catch.
CJ, what's it like being in this room with Bo and James? You guys seem to all be kind of working as one together and doing a lot of good things, each of you.
You know, it's special, man. You know, you got, you know, speed, and you got the change of pace guy, and, you know, I'm the power guy. So it's like, you know, when we all work together, we, like, dangerous. But when you try to separate us, you know, it's very hard for us to, you know, play as one. That's something Coach Locke continually preaches. Like, if you play as one, trust me, the game will go the right way.
How frustrating was it the way the game started, though? Y'all got right down there, but couldn't punch it in. And then, of course, it was the fumble on the kickoff return. Y'all didn't get the ball back. What did y'all get straight, you think, in that second quarter, especially that end of the second quarter drive, CJ?
You know, definitely on that 4th and 1, you know, I got to do a better job getting my pass down. That's something, you know, I got to continually work on. But, you know, Coach, they always tell us weather the storm. So I think that's something we did as a team. You know, we weathered the storm very well, and, you know, we responded quickly.
What is it like to see, and then Jeremiah catches that drag route over the middle, and like I said, it looked like a freight train turning upfield. What does that just do for the whole team to have a player like that make a play like that?
Man, that alien give us some juice, man. That man, that got different. He worked hard every day. You know, he pushed us, you know, each and every day, you know, to be our best. And, you know, he just always bring that, you know, that juice. You know, he's a South Florida guy, you know, so he's got that swagger to him.
CJ, what's it like having a quarterback like Julian? We talked all year about the poise he has, like for freshmen or for a first-time starter to come on the road like this. Like, how impressed were you with the way he handled the environment?
I wouldn't say I'm impressed. You know, I see that guy every day in practice. He, you know, we go against the best defense in America every day. So, you know, with the things he do in practice, you know, doesn't surprise me what he did today.
How much did that kind of poise, I guess, translate in the huddle, you know, as you guys are trying to score late in the half or whatever it may be?
It translates a lot. You know, he's just calm in there. You know, he reminds us, you know, stay calm. It's just a play, you know. We know we go continually stack plays and, you know, punch it in.
CJ, you mentioned that fourth down play. Did that give you more motivation going forward? Do you want to make up for that play?
Yeah, you know, I always try my best, you know, to be the power back and get the dirty yards, that's what Coach Locke like to say. So, you know, me not, you know, getting that 4th and 1 for the team was, like, very heartbreaking for me. But I had an opportunity later on in the game to fix that.
All right, CJ, thank you.
Oof, a flurry of player reaction there from Seattle as we bring you back here on the special edition of NBC4 Sports Extra. Again, joined here by Coach Bill Conley. So much to talk about, and they brought up a lot of great points. Let's kind of come off of what C.J. Johnson was talking about. I feel like that run game really for the first time, especially with Bo Jackson, the steady guy, 17 carries, 80 yards, even though no touchdowns there, he really got this Ohio State offense going in so many ways. What do you think about how the run game has really evolved now?
Well, I really think we have a three-headed monster back there. We got three guys that can carry the ball, they can make plays. And after we got stopped on that fourth down situation in the first quarter, we dominated in the running game. That's something we really haven't shown so far this year. And those guys, they're making extra yards. They don't let one guy bring them down. That's what great running backs do. They can catch the ball out of the backfield. That shows. And so you have to have a well-balanced offense to win the Big Ten Conference. And we're showing we have that if we can keep improving. Because I'll tell you what, that Washington team is going a lot of games in the Big Ten.
You talk about improving. There is a laundry list of things that I think Ohio State still has to improve on. Let's start with, a lot of them came up in the first half. Brandon Inniss still kind of struggling on punt returns. He had that fumble. That thing being said, though, I think he slowly redeemed himself throughout the game, making some big plays there. But, special teams, especially with punt returns, I think Brandon Inniss is going to need some more reps there.
Well, that makes a good player when they doesn't let one thing affect them. Then they come back and play great the rest of the game. That's what our players did. I think the coaches, David, did a great job of preparing this team for the game, not only in terms of a game plan, offense and defense, but also in terms of preparing them for the environment. Because I have coached out there, and that is a tough place to coach. It's extremely loud. The crowd gets into it. And anybody tell you they're one of the top 5 places in the country that's tough to play football.
That environment was unreal. Again, it's quite impressive to think about a 22-game home winning streak. It was the longest active such streak in the country, coming to an end thanks to the number 1 team in the country. Ryan Day talking about some self-inflicted wounds there as well during the game. How much do you think they need to clean that up, especially as we're going to take a look at the upcoming schedule? And, Penn State's kind of looming, and at the end of October, that first game in November. But so they have some time. But when you hear Ryan Day talk about self-inflicted wounds, what kind of comes to your mind?
Well, those are penalties which can be avoided.
Yeah.
Sometimes if it's an aggressive penalty, those things will happen. But to have a personal foul after the play and let them keep a drive alive, those are types of things that will kill you as a football team, and you can't let those things happen.
Let's kind of end on a positive note. 2 things that I thought were improvements from the non-conference schedule. We were talking about red zone offense. It struggled again a little bit at the beginning, but of course, you and I were talking about it. This Buckeyes team was also getting used to the environment. Really redeemed itself with, especially at the end of the first half, that throw to Jeremiah Smith. And you felt like Smith was struggling a little bit as well. He only had 2 catches for that first quarter and a half, and then he really found a rhythm in itself. But it looks like against a really tough opponent in a really tough environment, the red zone offense is starting to click a bit.
Exactly right. That was one of our strong points, as we know, a year ago. And we have to make sure it's that way all the time now. And after that stop they had on us in the first quarter, we really did a good job of really getting points on the board, and especially touchdowns in the red zone.
And then coming out of the locker room, 15-play drive to start that second half. You kill a lot of that clock, and that ends with that C.J. Donaldson touchdown. That's kind of what you want to see from Ohio State coming out of the locker room, right?
Oh, exactly right. We took half the third quarter. Then they get the ball, and they start driving the ball, but they only got a field goal out of that drive. And after that, it was over.
Once again, Ohio State winners 24-6 over Washington, improving to 4-0. We're going to take a look at the upcoming schedule, which brings Ohio State back to Columbus and back under the lights in prime time, this time for a Big Ten game. Let's take a look. That game is going to be on NBC4 next Saturday against Minnesota. After that, it's 2 more road games before another bye week. Go to Illinois, which, by the way, Illinois had a huge win today over USC, and then they go to Camp Randall to take on Wisconsin. They take a break and then go up against Penn State. That's going to be a huge game. And on NBC4 in just a little bit, Penn State about to face Oregon here. Coach, what sticks out to you about what's ahead for Ohio State and what adjustments they need to make moving forward?
Well, I think the adjustment part is just the small things, which aren't too many, we have to correct, and just keep getting better and more consistent. But this part of the schedule right now is the most important part. And Ryan Day said that at the beginning of the year. This is the middle part of the season, which is the start of the Big Ten. You cannot afford to stub your toe at all in this part of the season.
While we have you, and because as of this recording, Penn State about to face Oregon, what do you think is going to happen in that game?
I think Oregon will give them all they can handle. You know, obviously Penn State, they got a lot of great returners coming back, but it's a hostile environment, as we know. But I'll tell you, Oregon is another one of those teams that has really good skilled players. So I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, a lot of eyes are going to be on that game after, of course, watching Ohio State defeat Washington 24-6. Coach Bill Conley, really appreciate the time. Thanks as always. That'll do it for post-game coverage here on NBC4 Sports Extra. I'm David DeGuzman. We will catch you next time, folks.
Thanks for watching. For more NBC4, download the NBC4 streaming app. You'll get free 24/7 local programming streamed straight to your living room. Just search NBC4 Columbus on your Apple TV, Amazon Fire, Roku, or Samsung device.